a service of CNC Worldwide.
The Daily Podcast is a service of CNC News. It's brought to you by the Greece Chamber of Commerce, providing more than 800 area companies with business solutions since 1984. Greece Democrats aren't happy that two of their town board candidates were uninvited from a neighborhood association meeting that will be attended by their Republican Party opponents, but they say they're abiding by the group's decision. Greece Democratic Party Chair Dave Gerritsen said his party's candidates were invited to speak at Thursday night's meeting of the Grandview Beach Neighborhood Association, along with the two Republican town board members who represent the area.
And then a week later, they contacted us to withdraw their invitation, saying that they discovered that their bylaws do not allow them to host political events. And then they also mentioned, but the Republicans who are running for office, they're still coming because they're in office. They're going to be reporting on town activity.
Grandview Beach Association President Rod Lowe said he planned to have a candidates' night, but was advised by the membership that the organization didn't want political speeches at its meetings.
So we decided to not have the debate. I called Mr. Gerritsen, told him that the Democratic candidates should not come. Our Republican candidates come because they represent our interests with the town, and they talk to us about activities in the town that affect our neighborhood. They're not here to make political speeches, and they won't be allowed to do so.
He said the same would be true if they were Democrats. Gerritsen believes this is the wrong decision, but he said his candidates are not objecting. Instead, they plan to meet and greet voters outside the church where the meeting is held. New York Attorney General Eric Schneiderman is giving thumbs up to Apple for a feature of its new iOS 7 operating system for iPhones and mobile devices. It's the first to include a feature that allows you to remotely lock up your smartphone if it's stolen. Trigger it, and the phone is dead. It can't be reprogrammed, and it no longer has any value on the secondary market. Schneiderman and San Francisco District Attorney George Gascon have been pushing a Secure Our Smartphones campaign, asking for this sort of technology. They say it will help reduce a nationwide wave of iPhone and iPad thefts that can sometimes turn violent. Schneiderman said nothing's perfect. You have to update the software on your older devices to get it. And, of course, hackers will be trying to penetrate this new feature as soon as they get their hands on it. New York State's comptroller says he has nearly $400 million he is looking to invest in New York-based companies, just as he did earlier this week with a Rochester biotech firm. The money comes from the state pension fund administered by the comptroller, Thomas DiNapoli. He released a report on the program saying the fund has invested $684 million in more than 250 companies that started and want to expand in New York. DiNapoli said it's earning back $1.60 so far for every dollar invested. A Greece man has pleaded guilty to a federal charge of online enticement of a minor after trading sexually explicit pictures with a 13-year-old girl via the Internet. U.S. Attorney William Hochul said 37-year-old Terrence Juneau III faces a mandatory minimum prison term of 10 years. Juneau admitted to sexting, trading sexually explicit photos with the girl using their smartphones. The girl's mother found the naked images on her daughter's phone, recognized Juneau as a family acquaintance, and took the phone to Greece police. They launched an investigation and brought in the FBI. Hochul said the girl's mother did the right thing by keeping aware of her daughter's online activity. A Webster woman was killed Wednesday afternoon when her car crashed into the rear of an RTS bus on Empire Boulevard. The Monroe County Sheriff's Office said 92-year-old Jean Vainask slammed into the back of the bus, which had stopped at the curb to pick up passengers. She was unconscious when first responders got to her. They got her to Rochester General Hospital, where she was pronounced dead. Sheriff spokesman John Helfer said it's possible a medical condition may have led to the crash. Vainask apparently made no effort to hit the brakes before the collision. Nobody on the bus was hurt. An Irondequoit man was found dead in his home on Wall Road after a fire yesterday afternoon. Ridge Culver firefighters were called to the scene for a report of smoke from the single-story white house. They found the deceased inside while fighting the fire. The man reportedly lived alone. The cause of the fire is under investigation. Because it was an unattended death, it is being treated as suspicious for now. A rural metro ambulance crashed into a car Wednesday evening at the corner of Genesee Park Boulevard and Ravenwood on the southwest side. 3 people were taken to the hospital, including the ambulance driver and a child, and that continues under investigation. A research team at the University of Rochester Medical Center has confirmed what many women have been telling their doctors. The breast cancer drug tamoxifen causes a mental fogginess, similar to what oncologists call chemobrain. Study author Mark Noble is a professor of biomedical genetics and directs the university's Stem Cell and Regenerative Medicine Institute. He says the good news is they have found an existing drug that counteracts or even rescues brain cells from the effect when you administer them together. The effects generally wear off after treatment, but Noble says it's better to prevent them in the first place when you can. A longtime faculty member at the University of Rochester Medical Center and a pioneer in genetic research died this week in Rochester. Fred Sherman, Ph.D., was 81. He was chair of the Department of Biochemistry and Biophysics at the URMC from 1992 through 99. He was one of only 3 URMC faculty members named to the National Academy of Sciences. Sherman conducted some of the groundbreaking research into the structure of genes and the effects of genetic mutation. Researchers around the world today use baker's yeast as a genetic model for research because that's what Sherman pioneered. The current chair of biochemistry at the U of R, Jeffrey Hayes, said Sherman literally changed the course of biological research. To the left of the player window, you find links to these and other stories. At the bottom of the page, links you can use to post news and information straight to us. Next podcast is As It Happens, updates are as necessary, and I'm Bud Lowell, CNC News.